to Universal Heritage Television Nigeria. We bring you again another package in our program, Daybreak Nigeria, our breakfast show. Today, we are going to look at the incarceration of an Imo-based activist and popular radio presenter who has been held up for some days now. My name is Afam Echi. To do justice to the topic is Barrister Kenneth Madukaji. Barrister Madukaji is an Imo-based attorney. He's also a human rights activist. Barrister, you are welcome to our program.
Thank you so much.
Another guest I have here is a regular. His name is Martin Sori. He is the editor-in-chief and publisher of the New Oriental newspaper. Martin Sori is a senior journalist in Imo State. Martin, you are welcome to our program.
Thank you very much, Afam.
Let me start with you, Barrister Madukaji. An Imo-based activist and on-air presenter, Nonso, popularly known as Nonso, was picked up last week. It's about a week now or so. And reports reaching us indicate that he's going to spend another 1 week in detention because, according to his lawyer, the police is indicating that they have not concluded the investigation, and that might take another 1 week. Now, looking at what our law says, looking at the position of the law, is he supposed to be that held up for up to this period? What is the position of the law?
All right, thank you so very much. Yeah. We cannot lose sight of Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which covers what you call fundamental human rights. And frankly speaking to you, it is not a discussion that everybody should shy away from. Speaking legally, you cannot come and say somebody is found guilty or somebody is not innocent until the contrary is proven. So Nosokwa's issue that we are reading from the tabloid that is yet to be made public by either the Nigerian police, Imo State government, or Nosokwa himself in terms of direct physical street liability confirmation beggars much to discuss about. But I just want to let you know that it is of the function of the Nigerian police by the Police Act to invite anybody to come and discuss one thing or the other where necessary. That invitation could come by way of invitation by phone call, because we now have electronic media are part of what we are doing. It could still be by a text message, it could be by a WhatsApp message, it could be by physical invitation of a letter being dropped where you are working or to you. It could also be by a court order, what we call warrant of arrest. If these are not in any way found in what we are discussing, maybe that is why people are troubled. Why are they troubled? From information available to us, he left his program just by this time last week and then moved out from the compound of the interface of Assumpta via Holy Ghost College, and he was in a Gestapo manner blocked off by the would-be police as it were today. And then they took him to the Nigerian police office, had an interaction with the commissioner of police at D14, moved him further to police facility in Abuja for further questioning. It's allowed. We are not condemning whatever the IG of police has done or is doing, and that of the commissioner of police. But then we are made to understand also, from what I may call rumor mill and confirmation by his lawyer, Barrister Kasarachi, we put him now on authority, honor as a lawyer, that the Nigerian police said that there was a petition on behalf of the Imo State government by the Commissioner for Information, Chief Declan Melemba. It's of his right to also write petition where necessary. And we are also told that it was not just a petition based on what he said on radio, but that there was a video that went viral on Facebook where he was able to kind of disparage or bring the government to order, especially the person and personality of a human being called Hope Ozodemba. And then for such, they felt that there was a need for them to call him to order legally, which will start from police under what they call first information report and all that. That is just the history from the rumor.
You're giving a background
yes.
to the matter, to what led to this.
Where we are.
But what I'm asking specifically, is he supposed to be detained up to this period?
That's where I am now. That is the stage I am now.
Okay.
We are trying to establish the background. Because this, we know UHTF to be a balanced reportage.
Yes.
So we have to say it the way it is for the public. Those who are having their ears for or against will be able to hear that we are balanced and credible in our discussion. Now, after that, he ought to be given bail. If there is no other what to call withholding charge, keeping him. But from my information available to me and direct contact with Professor Kasarachi, there is no court order keeping him at the police facility. So, can we say illegal detention? Or are we trying to say that he's just there like a Nandekano, who court ordered that he should go home? And somebody said that you will not go until when I want you to go. So, this is what we must condemn. All spiritual energy. When we are crying, it's not because of us. We are crying because you might be the next victim of some of this. And then by the people say, I think you supported what happened to Nonso. Now it's happening to you. What we are saying is that this government is a responsible government. And every responsible government is like a responsible father. He must be responsive too. Let them do all they could do and make sure that the young man is reunited with his family, especially his wife and young children, his mother who is alive, his siblings, and the intimate population of Igbolites and Imolites and Nigerians who listens or tune into his program. You know, we used to have what we call Brekete. There's one Brekete program in Abuja that also has gone viral. So I think Nonso is trying to have that photocopy of Brekete. And then what you should just do is negotiate with him. The negotiation I'm talking about is explain something. This is not the way it is done. That's not the way it's done. I am not trying to say that illegality begins illegality. Yes. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that whether you like it or not, his further detention after 24 hours beggars for questioning. And that question must come from the Nigerian police, not from the petitioner or from the defendant or from the suspect, as you may say, but from the Nigerian police. In fact, the IG of police must within 24 hours explain to Nigerians through the PPRO of Nigerian police why Nonso has been kept more than 24 hours. That will also go a long way to that detention. Because when you keep it in a cocoon of secrecy, there are bound to be a lot of discussions. Some will say that happened, some will say that did not happen. Let's do the right thing at the right time and allow peace to reign. This is democracy. I must enjoy it.
Thank you so much for that elaborate enlightenment on the issue. Yeah, Mr. Ray, this is not the first time Nonso is having a face-off with Imo State government. And there have been issues over time between one or two things, you know, relationship-wise, between Imo media and the government. So how would you actually describe the relationship between the press in Imo and the government?
Well, it's not really only the press. Mind you, the press is of the newspapers only. So it's the media. The media, the relationship between the government of Imo State as administered by Senator Hope Uzodinma and that of media professionals in the state has not been very cordial. In fact, it is a frosty relationship. It is like cat and dog. Don't forget that immediately the governor came on board after he was sworn in on January 15. Imo journalists became target of attacks. I wouldn't say that it's the governor that is directing it, but as I always say, a former president of America, Harry Truman, said the buck stops at the president's table. So if there is any good thing, the governor takes credit. If it also goes back, he also takes the bad name. So what I'm saying is that there are some certain individuals in the state who don't want the journalists to carry out their duties the way it ought to be. And every point in time, there are the people going to attack the journalists. I've not seen personal security of Uzodinma attacking journalists. What we don't know is whether he instructs these people behind and now they are carrying out the responsibilities. One, remember Vianoti had issues at IBC. First, he was suspended. When he recalled, he now resigned. I stand to be corrected that Vivian wanted to resign the time she did. It was just because of, if I go back here now, it might be either sack or termination of appointment. So it was the attack from agents of the state government that compelled Vivian to resign. I also know of a journalist in the state known as Uchidebu Okoma, the correspondent of Punch newspaper in Owerri, who went to cover assignment on the protest of pensioners, protesting that most of their members were excluded from the scheme, and also that for some months by that time, the government was still owing them. I remember very vividly that Ebube was attacked. Okay, even myself, speaking here, I have been tagged a fake journalist by state-owned media channels, and now this issue of Nonso and others that we cannot really remember now. So what I'm trying to say in effect that it is not good. The press is not supposed to be friendly to the government, and it's not supposed to be anti-government. The press is the fourth estate of the rim. It covers all the activities of the government, good or bad, and report it as it is to the masses. So I'm calling on Governor Hope Uzodinma, who is running for re-election, to call some of his aides to order those who go ahead to go either to attack directly or sponsor talks to go and harass journalists in the state. It is very, very appalling.
Okay, Barrister Ogulemba, now what is this charge of criminal libel brought against Nonso? That's looking at what the law says. What is this criminal libel?
Why we are trying to be so stingy with discussing a criminal libel is because he who assass must prove. Okay. So that is the problem now, because Nonso has not been charged by any court or competent jurisdiction in Nigeria. Okay. Rather, that is where his matter is before the police. So first of all, process have been passed through, as I told you, statements, further and the better statements. After that, the government, which is the Nigerian police, will now decide if they would want to charge him to the court for guilty or not guilty. By then, you cannot be talking about criminal libel and other. But the point is that the issue of slander, that of sedition, that of libel, defamation of character, disparaging words and all that, they are all within the ambit of the law, both criminal and civil. Yes, so they are all offenses that can be touched before the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and also under the Police Act, criminally. Okay. Yes. Yeah,
Martins, now let me ask you, there was this press release you jointly signed with the NUJ chairman in Imo State, Comrade Precious Nwadike. And in the release, you are demanding the release of Nonso. And another faction of the union in the state tagged you a fake journalist. You are a fake journalist and you are correcting yourself.
It's a pity I found that I was certified a journalist in 1998. And by that 1998, that was when the military was exiting. Yeah. So I was very privileged to have practiced the few months the military were preparing for exit. And all the entire 23, 24 years of this democracy, I started as a sports reporter. I saw actions when Nigeria hosted the 2000 Nations Cup. I covered it for Hallmark. I was here for Hallmark newspapers. As a sports reporter, I was promoted to sports editor. From being sports editor, I became the editor Southeast. I was sent to come and head the paper, the Bureau, what we call the Bureau chief in Southeast here. As a from there, I went to national interest, where I went back to sports as a sports editor. From national interest, I joined Sun. Within few months of working in the Sun, I was made the pioneer editor, Sunday Soccer Star, what we now have as Sporting Sun. Okay. From there, I resigned after 10 years in Sun as assistant editor education in Sun. I resigned in July 2020, July 2013, almost more than 10 years ago now. So when somebody comes here to AFAM, I have partnered with you as the publishers of the new Oriental newspaper. See, we started 2 years ago. Yeah. So when somebody there sits down and concludes that I'm a fake journalist, the person has to come to prove what fake means in this regard.
So I'm alarmed at that charge of being a fake journalist. Because It looks like there is another minute to.
I don't know. And what we stated in that release was exactly what the barrister here has given legal backing, has explained that look, we demand that Nonso should be charged to court immediately or released on bail. This is not a military era where you hold on to somebody ad infinitum. We said no, it is not good. We even thanked the people that arrested him, despite the bravado manner that Nonso was not maltreated. We went to the police station and they told us that Nonso is here. That is a very good idea. That is a very good process. We also thank the state government for not taking the laws into its hands. It invited the police. These are good processes. We now say go a step further by doing the needful. Charge Nonso to court. And if Nonso goes to court, the court will see that this thing is a bailable offense and he will send Nonso, will start coming to hear from your house. That is all what we demanded, nothing else.
But Mr. Madukaji, this is not the first time Nonso is being picked by the state authorities. Now, there are various reactions over what is happening to him. Many people believe that the Imo media has been very docile and that Nonso is the only voice that has been crying in the wilderness and over bad governance. And that is why the government finds it easy to pick on him any moment. Now, do you agree that the media is not doing enough on covering bad performances of the government? That's the Imo media. Some people hold the opinion that they are compromised. That a lot of things are going wrong and nobody is talking. But if there are more than 1, 2, 3, 4 media men or media organizations that talking about government bad performances, then Nonso wouldn't have been the victim of what he's going through now.
Like yes, just as I said earlier in our discussion here, that it is not just happening in the media alone. Okay. You know that we have almost double in everything in Imo. That of
what do you mean by double?
Okay, Nawaj is also an independent body from that of NUJ, isn't also, but an affiliate. God bless you. It's factionalized. Yes. Then NLC, factionalized. TUC, factionalized. So there are a lot of factions everywhere. What we just hold now is just Nigerian Bar Station, Nigerian Society of Engineers, and that of the Medical Association of Nigeria. These are the 3 bodies for now in Imo that you could hold to say they are not factionalized, or they are managing their internal wranglings politically. So what I'm trying to say this is that you can't gag the press. It is not possible. So Nonso's own method of complaining to the public on the ills of the society is not far-fetched from that all of us are also doing. The ones we are doing, the ones the rheumatists are doing, and every other person, we're all trying to say things should be done normally, and things should be done well. But then what I know for sure is that, hence they started with the process. Let them try and make sure that there is no mixture of process in the middle, and they should also end on the same process. What is the process? Invitation, either documentary, oral, or by voice call, or by picking him. We are no more quarreling. And they've taken him to police. Commissioner of police says, yes, we know where he is. IG says, yes, he's with us. Then, after statement, give him bail. Or show us a withholding charge against him. Now, there should be an order from a court of competence which says, keep him for 7 days more, keep him for 10 days more, keep him for 21 days, or 108 days, or 308, or keep him for 1 year. Court must give this order.
And even if when the court gives, you can also challenge that court to try and appeal.
Appeal. So these are the processes.
In other words, it appears the police is holding him illegally. The law does not cover the police.
He is qualified for administrative bail because the matter is bailable.
Okay.
Administrative bail is a bail that is given to him by the IPO, which is the Inspector General of Police, the case before us. So they should allow him to go. What they should do is to get a shorty. It's a very important. Maybe 2 traditional rulers from Imo State. It's a shorty, it's a condition. Or your mother must come. It's a shorty, it's a condition. Or I want your children to come. Police has a right to verify a shorty that would be able to provide the suspect whenever his attention is needed. The reason for bail is for production. And that is just what I know that they should do. And I know they are going to do it. Because the IG of police has listened to a lot of people crying. And he has heard the voice of human rights lawyers, the voice of MBA, every other person. We are saying today that in the next 24 hours from now, Nonso will be released. And the way he released, he'll be released to his family. though with documents that are qualified for him. But if they keep him more than 24 hours from now, it means that there's something that beats the eye. And that's not going to be a good one for us as far as democracy is concerned. They should release Nonso. Let him come back home and meet his family. And then if there will be need for us to give a knock, we give a knock. Where we are going to say, hi, you did well, we give that. But for now, let Imo State government not be in the eyes of the storm on a matter of this nature. Because the belief is that people are saying, because the government is listening to us, Governor Hopo is a listening governor. People are saying that when Nonso was taken to Abuja, what we call free columnist, is because that is where the governor lives. So it's just like that Abuja is a photocopy of Owerri at the governor's convenience. People are saying it, and it will look as if it is truth. Yeah. Because the governor is not in Owerri today. Yeah, and Nonso is not in Owerri too.
Yeah, but in reality, the governor has been away from the state for so long. He jets in, he jets out. Yes. And people are agitated that he's spending so much time in Abuja as if he's the governor that was voted for. That is as if he's the governor of Abuja State.
Yes.
If there is anything like that. So are you not concerned that he's not in the state?
Well, what we're talking about now is a different topic. We're talking about John Ketin. People are trying to say the governor is John Ketin. Just like California, who said that Obasanjo was John Ketin 189 times within a space of 3 years. Yeah. So, but I want to let you know, what I'm discussing is this. Okay. The free colonists are saying that the governor lives in Abuja.
Yeah. Yes.
And stays in Abuja. Yeah. And that Nonso is not detained in Abuja. It means that Nonso and the governor are in Abuja in authority of being Owerri. It is just for us to prove the people wrong by saying
by releasing him,
or by bringing him to Owerri, and you come back to Owerri and sort out this matter with him.
I think you have
that is just a simple mathematics.
You have a point.
And I know the governor listens. That's what they are saying, and it is just subject to ratification by the authorities so concerned.
Okay, Martin. Before I round off the program, let me ask this question. Declan Emenumba is the commissioner of information in the state, and he's a senior journalist, and the issues that are playing out is a kind of confrontation coming from him against his constituency, the media. People make reference to some issues that, like you said, they factionalize the media groups.
Yes.
The New J is factionalized.
Yes.
Nawaj is factionalized. IMPA is factionalized.
Yes.
TUC.
All the unions.
In the state, there are so many, even road transport workers and
factionalized.
Union
Yes.
are all.
Even market leaders are also factionalized.
Yes. So that doesn't speak good about
the image of the government.
The image of the government. And especially in the media, the commissioner is being pointed at as being responsible. Even when some of these things are issues in the court, he will support one faction and they will hold the election and he will lead them to the governor for endorsement. And so Martin, what do you think is why he's playing this role?
You see, and in the media industry, there's a concept we call propagandizing, propagation. It can be in two ways, either positivity or negativity.
Okay. Propaganda?
Yes, propaganda can be either for good or for bad. In this regard, the Commissioner of Information, who also doubles as the Commissioner of Information and Strategy, has taken propagandizing to another level. So as long as he is concerned, based on what is playing out in the state, he is of the opinion that the moment these institutions are factionalized, he's going to get the best of it. How? I'm very much aware that Emenumba is a senior journalist who at the time was a managing editor of a national newspaper, the National Post in Imo State. Yeah. So he understands this thing very, very well. The NUJ in Imo State is having a crisis. What he did was to support the angle of the NUJ that defied a court order that says stay put, let us look into it, and he is supporting them. He did that in NUJ, he did that in Nawaj, he did that in TUC, he did that in IMPA, he did that in NLC. He's doing that everywhere. So the thing is,
divide and rule.
Why he's doing this is this. Let us be very clear about it. Number one, in the case of this Nonso now, my own group, I don't want to use the word faction. My own group says, please release Nonso or charge him to court. The following day,
That's where you signed as the secretary.
where I signed as the secretary. The following day, we saw a counter telling us that the people who signed, that is Precious Wadike and myself, we are fed. Is that supposed to be? You understand? So the thing is that the crisis in the information dissemination houses must rage so that the body should not be united. We should not have a common front to fight a cause. That is what he's doing. And we are appealing to the governor to please let him caution the commissioner of information. We are not saying he should be sacked. We are not saying he should be killed. We are saying, please, he is doing what the lawyers will call ultra virus. That is what he's doing. Let him stay out of union activities. Allow the bodies to do their job. If there is where the bodies are maybe derailing, he calls them to order and tells them that this is not how I think that everything is about lobbying, palling, discussions. So the issue of factionalization in Imo media houses, by media houses now I don't mean the newspapers, I mean the bodies, is not very, very good for us. And we call Memelumba, who is a senior journalist, has been to the House of Assembly 2 times, and is now the Commissioner of Information. In all ramifications, he's a senior man. I don't know how he feels when all these bodies are nursing one crisis or the other. It is not good. It is not good at all.
And it is like, it's like the thing is working in the favor of the government, because they're not getting the hits they're supposed to get.
There was something that we said there. We said that is a Commissioner for Information and Strategy.
Okay.
So that is another strategy. You know, a strategy is a tool within which you get to a result, whether positively or negatively.
Because the bodies now is supporting are very quiet in this Nonso affair. Those of us now who are saying do the right thing, we are being tagged as enemy to the government, which is not true. That's not how we can be enemy to the government. The government has the right to run for 4 years. The government has run for almost 3 and almost 8 months. We cannot be against the government, but we can then tell the government that they are not doing well. This is how to do it. That's not mean that you're against the government. I still address the governor, His Excellency, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma. That is the governor of the state. He's my governor. There's no doubt about it. But what we are saying is that there are people we call spin doctors, Caesars in the administration who are deceiving the government of the day, and the governor should call them to order. That's just what we are saying.
It's okay, gentlemen. This is where we draw the curtain for the program. And viewers, you have heard our guests talk so detailed about these issues, and they've given their advices to the authorities that Nonso should be released because, according to the law, he is supposed to be given bail. Then again, this goes to Imo State Governor that he should do so well to get his acts together and allow the media to operate freely. Gagging the press doesn't help anybody, because the media throws up issues where the government is not doing well. No person will look at himself.
And also, I will applaud the government when it is doing well. When the governor came, we are not enough. When the governor came and started this Port Harcourt road here, we applauded.
Yes.
When the Olu road was completed, was done, we applauded. When the Okiwe road was done, we applauded. In the case of Nonso, we are seeing there are some issues. Yeah. Do it this way. It does not mean that we are attacking the government. That's what we want to say.
So the media does not have any intention to attack the government, because the media is a friend of the government. On this note, we round up the program and say, please continue to stay with us for more interesting edition of this package. And my guest again is
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We want to thank our viewers and our listeners.
Thank you for coming to the program, gentlemen. My name is Afam Echi.